evening, all. It's always happy to talk to young people. I will speak for about 20 to 25 minutes, and we can have a good question and answer session. So today's topic is actually jobs and careers in the era of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. And whenever we think about a career, an MBA education, a management education typically comes at the center. So management education in the era of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. It's an interesting question to start with. What is an MBA for? Considering the dynamic world, considering what we see around today, what is the role of a management education? So what's an MBA for? What is most important, it is not just for getting your first job. Of course, anything you do should be able to help you in getting you to a meaningful engagement. That's absolutely essential. But today, one should not look at an MBA just as an opportunity to get your first job. It is, in fact, is the beginning of a unique career journey. We could argue that the beginning of a unique career journey in the time of AI and IoT, or at the time when we experience the fourth, or even some are talking about the fifth industrial revolution. What is the meaning? What is the purpose? What good it is going to do for anybody to start an MBA? So that is the question, and definitely it is just not for getting a job. Now, before going into what we can do with it and what is so unique or what is interesting about the AI and IoT revolution, I think it is interesting to look at this question: what is a career for? It is a journey. Also, it's an opportunity. A career, of course, is an opportunity to earn. It's an opportunity to help. It's an opportunity to find meaning, personal growth, learning, express yourself, communicate well, and if possible, based on who you are, change the world. So it's an opportunity, and also it is a journey. MBA is a very interesting start of that career journey. I want to make this very clear for all of us that when we think about a career, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that most of us are looking to get a good job or start an interesting startup and make money, and that is absolutely important. It should make sense with respect to our ability to create some value for us and everybody else. Definitely, that is very, very important. But at the same time, when you're in your early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, or early 30s, money is, of course, very, very important. But at the same time, with the time, when your life stages change, it is also about the fit, the match, and meaning. So it is for making money. It is definitely for finding the right match that should fit with your view of the world. We call at our business school your theory of life. So career should match with who you are, and also ultimately you should be able to find meaning. So it's easy for you to remember the 3M of thinking about your career: money, match, and meaning. Now, finally, whether you do an MBA or you do engineering or anything, even you do law or medicine, these advances in AI, machine learning, deep learning, Internet of Things, the big data revolution is definitely going to change the nature of jobs. The question is not if, but when. It could be in the next 5 years or 10 or 15 or 20, that's going to happen. What is interesting here is that you see on your bottom left-hand side, this is a production unit of Toyota in Japan. And I had the fortune of going and visiting, and interestingly, standing at the same place and look at the production floor 25 years ago and 2 years ago. 25 years ago, what I saw was unfinished cars slowly moving and several production workers. Not a crowded shop floor. Today, it is crowded with high-tech robots controlled by smart algorithms, and definitely big data is feeding and refining those algorithms and routines through machine learning. This is what you see. So that, again, that doesn't mean that all those jobs are all being replaced by machines. Interesting, new jobs are also being created. So when you think about, even when you people thinking about doing engineering, we may not need that many traditional engineers. That doesn't mean that we may not need that many engineers. We may not need that many traditional engineers. So the whole idea of how we look at skilling ourselves and thinking about your career journey, we need a different framing. A simple question, but it's an interesting question. What a medical doctor can do, which machines can't. You know, if we ask a question like what engineers can do and the machines can't, what technicians can do and machines can't, I think that might look fairly straightforward. This might look a bit complex, but the answer is very simple. What medical doctors can do, I think most of what they can do, machines could also do. I have a little device here, a simple smartwatch. It continuously measures my heart rate, my activities, my sleep pattern, and using machine learning and in some cases deep learning, using the millions and billions of data points it collects across the world, this device can tell me or a doctor a lot more than a 20 minutes of typical doctor visit. Then you would typically ask this, then why are still these doctors employed? What is stopping medical profession from going through a disruptive change? Of course, the social aspect of it. That is also where you are going to find interesting jobs. In addition to that, our rule making, our regulatory process is never catching up with technology. It is always lagging behind. That's the reason medical profession is not going through that kind of disruptive change, but every other profession is going to go through this kind of disruptive change, and we need not be worried about it. It's not going to replace all the jobs and machines are going to do. No, that's not the idea. But we need to train ourselves for those interesting jobs. That is the idea. You see, a bit of history, bit of looking at what has been happening in the last 250 to 300 years. This is what is happening. First industrial revolution, if you can call it that way, is steam power. Then comes electricity, automation, and now we are talking about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. You know, they're all in some sense connected because IoT creates a lot of, generates billions and trillions of data points, and you need that kind of data really to develop machines which would use deep learning. That's your real AI. So what has happened? What are the consequences of these developments? Steam power replaced most jobs needing power and speed. Electricity and automation is replacing most jobs across the world needing repetition, speed, precision. Today, AI revolution, Internet of Things revolution, is replacing jobs typically needing to abstract simple patterns and rules from large sets of data. Again, I want to tell you that doesn't mean that these technologies are going to completely replace everything. It will create more and more interesting jobs. Here is a simple framework you can see. On the y-axis, we have manual and cognitive job types. Either these jobs are purely manual or a lot of nuanced thinking is needed, or routine and non-routine. You know, most jobs on these three boxes would be fully or partially replaced by machines, whether we like it or not. But that doesn't mean that jobs are going to be fully replaced or gone. On the top right hand box, in green, there are many new and interesting jobs are going to be created. Those jobs are going to be supported mostly by people studying business administration, people studying management, people studying liberal arts and sciences, of course, people studying computer science, data science, and information systems more than any other. Or if you're studying law or medicine or something like that, you need to have this understanding to be effective in those jobs. Now, all over the world, and also this is very important for India, we are not only talking about smart cities. So what are the smart cities? Energy optimized, waste disposal systems, and not only excellent waste disposal systems, cities not only with excellent environmental waste disposal systems, cities would also recycle, minimize waste, use renewable electricity, and optimizing traffic itself will save a lot of energy, reduce pollution. And we are not stopping with smart cities, also smart villages. And think about the opportunities in India. Hundreds of cities, thousands and thousands of villages. So many interesting jobs are going to be created in the areas of advertising, business analytics, business economics, consulting, consumer behavior, data science, digital marketing, finance, investment banking, human resources, information systems, logistics, management, marketing operations, social media managers, supply chain. These are a list of some of the most interesting ones. There are many interesting jobs are going to be created in this area. They're typically manned by people with excellent problem framing and problem solving skills. Let me tell you, probably no other education would give you this level of problem solving and problem framing skills. But more than that, a good business education would give you a transdisciplinary lens to see the world. Why do we need that? Why do we all the time talk about problem solving all the time? The reason is very, very simple. It's not that problem solving is not important. Problem solving is very, very important. Why do we talk about it all the time? Because our brain is not wired to solving complex contemporary problems, because we got naturally selected. Our ancestors were in African savannas, typical places like this. The types of problems they were facing were simple, dangerous, and problems needing immediate solution. Look at contemporary problems, including COVID. What are those problems? They are complex, definitely complex. Probably, our last pandemic about 100 years ago, it was not kind of spreading like wildfire, even though that was maybe 200 years ago, it would have been much more simpler. Today, all those air travel and everything, it's almost practically everywhere in the world. Complex problem, not so dangerous, because every person is not dying, but it is dangerous. It's not so dangerous. And solutions, you don't have to find the solution tomorrow, but you need to find it in months, maybe in 6 months, 1 year, in 2 years. So those are the typical problems. Problems like poverty reduction, sustainability challenges, pollution, unemployment. In our country, there are all other sorts of social hierarchy, other social issues. These are all complex problems. We call wicked problems. These problems need a different kind of training. And also, developing and digitizing whatever we do, that is also a complex problem. A typical structured planning, execution kind of engineering approach is not very useful. That's also the reason in the last 10 to 15 years, software developers are talking about agile way of developing software. You kind of prepare something tentative, you try it out, you refine it, and you go through that cycle. I don't think a civil engineer can go through that cycle that much. A mechanical or an aeronautical engineer, there you need a lot of predictive science to design and build. You don't have time or the resources to do it, but software we can do it. But what we were struggling was we did not have the right philosophy to approach it. Today we are doing much better. So a good education is all about retraining our mind from our ability to, or kind of giving that extra ability to solve complex, not so dangerous and problems whose solutions can wait, from simple, dangerous problems needing immediate solution. Look at it. You sight a lion, you fight, or you run, or you climb a tree if there is a tall enough tree. That's the idea. But today, the problems are different. So an MBA education will definitely give you the multidisciplinary perspective basically to make a good group of young scholars. They're problem framers and solvers of the future. They are the ones who are going to occupy key positions in the regime of Industry 4.0. So that's the idea. So a few words about our business school. Our business school mission is very unique, actually. We want to develop globally sensitive, excellence-seeking management professionals with a social entrepreneurial mindset. I don't want to go into too much details. If you have questions, I can always answer. What is globally sensitive graduates? Global sensitivity is not just knowing the culture. It is also about the economy and the geography and the political system and everything you could know about various countries and cultures. Excellence seeking is something very, very important. It starts with what is to be human? What is the difference between us and other primates and typical animals? The only one answer, of course, we can come up with we plan. There are also other animals plan. We have a much bigger brain, definitely yes. But generally, we are not that much different from other animals, other than our extraordinary ability to empathize with not only other humans, other animals and plants and everything else. So that extraordinary ability to empathize is the source of seeking excellence. So we want to accentuate that idea of extraordinary empathy and develop a mindset of a temperament of excellence seeking. What is excellence seeking? Doing it better than before, doing it better than before. Then finally, the social entrepreneurial mindset. What is good for the corporation should be good for the community and for the country and the world at large. So strictly speaking, we talk about 4 pillars: global sensitivity, excellence seeking, social entrepreneurial mindset, and true professionalism. Those are the 4 pillars of our business education. Of course, our values are: we want to be truly inclusive. We want people speaking, if possible, from every country in the world and every state in India, and all genders, and truly political orientation, religious orientation. We want to be truly inclusive and diverse. And we believe in firmness with empathy. And we want to be pro-social, the idea of social entrepreneurial mindset. Sustainability is something very, very important for our school. We are probably the only business school in India. We have a course called Sustainability in Practice, which runs across 2 semesters. And many of our graduates come back and tell us that that gave them actually the real life experience of planning and executing interesting and challenging tasks. We want to be entrepreneurial, and one of the most interesting characteristics we want is not simple raw confidence, but confidence with humility. Of course, we are very proud of the fact that our tagline of our business school is New India Starts Here. And we also have many stakeholders, but how many we have, but students are at the center. We exist for them, but we truly look for open-minded students who are willing to take up the challenge of learning. And also, a good job is the result of a job of learning well done. Let me be very, very clear with you, with all of you, that we never had problems in inviting corporations to our school. Our biggest challenge is inspiring young students to have that openness to learn continuously and be proud and excited about that opportunity to learn. And we are a very different kind of business school. Traditional business schools are actually like this: company at the center. We want both corporation and the society at the center. So traditional notion is that power of free market and the need for maximizing shareholder wealth, the wealth of the owners. But we believe in free human spirit, and we want to maximize the well-being of the whole society. So that is the idea of a modern, contemporary business school. Not only maximizing shareholder wealth, it is also, this is a mindset. You know that there's a lot of criticism about graduates coming from top-class business schools. It is also a mindset and a temperament, but that should start with your initial education and training at your business school. And we truly believe in the idea of both society and corporation at the center. This is our beautiful campus. Once you're inside, you will not even realize that this is India, because we have kept it that well. Our way of working, students at the top all the time. When are you at the top? When you do your duty well. That is, approach it with an open mind, with a learning mindset. Then we are all there to support you. And no discussion will be complete if we don't recall the purpose and philosophy of higher education. It is about knowing yourself, seeking excellence, we talked about that, and also intellectually freeing oneself. So self-knowledge, seeking excellence, and intellectual freedom. These are the 3 key ideas of, or the purpose of higher education. And intellectual freedom needs courage, and we all should courageously create the world of our dreams. We have more than 10 specializations plus a unique MBA in the area of business analytics and big data. We also have a 3+1+1 through our liberal arts and sciences program. You can start with the liberal arts and sciences and finally end up getting an MBA. This is after high school. And we have a solid group of faculty members. Practically all of them have good PhDs from excellent universities across the world. We also have very good corporate connect. These are some of the companies came to campus last placement season, and there are many more. There's an exhaustive list. We always get more than 50 to 60 companies to come and hire for about 160 to 180 students. All of them may not look for a job. Some of them go back and join their family business. We also have excellent global connect. We are part of, I think, 3.6 million euros European Union project. 6 universities are part of it. ELTE in Hungary, Tampere in Finland, Danube University in Austria, University of Applied Science in Germany, and Beijing Normal University in China, and us. That's a program. Some of our students can go and spend a semester there, or after your MBA, if you want to try for a fully paid another master's, that is another thing you can try. We also have several other partners where you can go and do another master's after 3 semesters. Some of the credits you can carry over from here. And also you can see Tel Aviv University, University of Twente. They're all pioneers of, and the University of Malta, they're all pioneers of AI and Internet of Things, and even Strasbourg in France. So spending a semester there, or trying to go and spend 2 or 3 semesters more. 1 semester can be common. You can also get a second degree. And what is actually going on with the new normal, new dynamic normal we call with COVID? It's still going on. All of us should stay safe. So here you see 2 axes. One is campus, on campus or outside campus. Other one is classroom, in the classroom or outside the classroom. This is traditional pre-COVID on-campus life. You're on campus, most of you, and you are in the classroom. These are day scholars, very small percentage, about 10 to 15% of them are day scholars. They're not typically on campus, but inside the classroom. At this point, we don't have a complete online program, but that's kind of typical, not in the class, not on campus. That's a typical online. So what is new during this COVID season is students could be on campus, but they can still choose to be inside the class or sitting in the garden and attending the class. So we made it a point that even when that is happening inside the class, we stream it and we give all the flexibility for students to choose what is the most convenient way. The only thing we do is we rigorously evaluate, and also we want students to be connected very closely with our faculty to get most useful feedback. And this is actually another result, partly COVID imposed, but all AI and Internet of Things and digitization is actually enabling. This is also making us to rethink about how do we design our classrooms, how do we design also our campuses. So how can you make best use of our global links? As I was telling you, you can always go for 2 degrees. There are multiple options available. You can do a summer internship, a semester abroad. Again, when you are thinking about 2 degrees, always remember every university would have their own specific requirements. The better the university it is tougher to get in. But if you're a good student, you will have no problem in getting in. We are truly open-minded, a global school. We are also highly entrepreneurial. This year, we have been ranked, Thapar Institute of Engineering Technology has been ranked by Times Higher Education. It's a global ranking agency at the #1 private university in India. NIRF ranking is 31st out of all universities. Our business school is 54th. If you look at the research part of our ranking, we are 19th in the country. Several IIMs are behind us. So if someone comes here with an open mind, wanting to learn, we are one of the best groups of faculty colleagues who are open to and passionate about learning with you. Our philosophy of doing anything is futurize, legalize, and Uberize. What do we mean by futurize? You dream and define and lead that thought. But we may not have the resources to do everything at once, but then we modularize, reconfigure, and redesign to take care of the constraints. But ultimately, our goal is to Uberize this business school and the university. And interestingly, when we talk about smart villages and smart cities, the whole idea is Uberize, and the Uberization should happen through refining, optimizing, and automating. Anything can be captured as a process. You capture it, you refine it, you optimize it, you automate it. And how do you do that automation? Through agile development. So futurize, legalize, and Uberize is our mantra. This is really very happy news. In the next 12 to 18 months, we are also going to be the youngest school to get AACSB accreditation. And in India, there are 17 business schools so far accredited. By the time we get accredited, probably we'll be in the top 25 to 30 business school. And this is great achievement for a 14-year-old school. But of course, we are part of almost 60-year-old famous university. Thank you. And I'm happy to discuss with you if you have questions. Thank you.